Hello everybody and welcome back to the Crypto Potluck. In this video we're going to be jumping into some technical analysis and we're going to be figuring out what is going on with the price action, where we are right now, and really what can we expect. With that, we're going to be jumping into a few different indicators. I do want to let you guys know, I wrote an article kind of explaining what I am looking at as far as the market is concerned. Because whenever you're looking at the market, there's two things that move the market. And the first thing is going to be innovation, and then the second thing is going to be politics. And as far as cryptocurrency and investing is concerned, the U.S. is the main pumper in far as moving cryptocurrency market cap up or down. So with this fact, we need to be paying attention to what the U.S. is doing as far as politics is concerned and kind of relating everything and what we can expect. So one of the big things that I put in this article that I think you guys are going to like is right here. I zoomed in and I made this picture to kind of show you where we're at. So this is a year's progress as far as price action is concerned, and we're looking at the three main currencies. So we have Bitcoin, we have gold, and then we have the Dow Jones. Now all of these are extremely important to look at, but the thing that I'm really just focusing on is that each one of them is actually seeing a lot of gains in the market, which I am actually seeing pretty surprising. But what is weird is that all three of them are actually, really moving forward at a pretty good rate. So when everything is signaling one color and everything's green, that worries me as an investor because that can signal too much hype in the market, which could be an ultimate sign to really just try and pull out. So let's dive into some of this argument and we'll see where the price is and we'll see what we can assess. So I think that, all right. So I do think that we'll start off with Bitcoin and then we'll work our way into the Dow Jones and everything else. So as far as Bitcoin's concerned, we've landed right where I said that we would be landing, and that's right underneath this pocket. We've seen 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 green days in the market. We're now moving on to our 6th. I think that we might be able to get one more push, and I'll give you the reasoning behind that, but it's a flip of a coin. It might hurt us and it might help us, and it all depends on the Dow Jones and what the stock market does from here, because I think that there's a correlation between all three of these markets. So if we can get that push, I told you guys that the highest that I'm looking at as far as us getting up in price is going to be the $7,100 mark, because this would be the top of this Ichimoku cloud, where I think that we would start seeing some consolidation take place. Other than that, I do think that we're at, really highs right now, but we'll dive into, some of the other indicators real quick, and we're going to dive into Bitcoin a little bit more in depth, because I really want to go back into the heat maps and see what the heat maps are saying about what is going on with price action. So don't worry, we're going to jump back into that, but I want to stick on the topic of basically correlating the Dow, BTC, and gold. So I'm going to go into the Dow Industrial Average, and we can kind of see where we're at. So as far as, I'm going to take away this because we don't need this right now. Okay, so as far as the Dow is concerned, right, I'm a big believer in channels and angles and really using that to determine markets, but we're at a point where basically we're getting to October, we have the midterms in November, and what is going to be happening during that time? In my opinion, I think that, the Democratic Party is going to try and create as much noise and chaos within the market, at least trying to undermine what Trump has done, and basically heighten, the news on the trade war that is going on and trying to hit price. I think that we have a point where if this goes through, we can see consolidation. And then the next thing is what did the Democratic Party have to show? What were their cards? What is everything that they have been working up to this point in the investigation, everything else? They need to show their cards in October. And if they don't, I think that the majority of the people are going to go and support I guess what Trump is doing as far as the market is concerned. And I don't see the blue wave happening. It all depends on what the cards are. So I think what is going to happen is leading up to the election of the midterms, we're going to start to see some consolidation in the price as FUD enters in the market at a high rate. What we would like to see, though, is if we can get a rejection where the chaos point is, and if the Trump midterm starts to look in his favor, then we can start seeing a breakout to new highs. And I think that there's going to be more money entering in this market. So that's as far as the Dow Jones is concerned. So what if we are expecting a fall any day now this week? What would that happen, as far as cryptocurrency? That's a flip of a coin. Whenever you see a huge hit in the market, it might hurt the tech sector, especially cryptocurrency, or if the FUD would support cryptocurrency adoption, we might actually get that push up to new highs. So as far as that's concerned, I'm going to jump back into BTC and we can see how that would correlate. So if we might, most bullish, if Bitcoin ends up benefiting from the FUD, I think that we can hit the top of this wedge, which would be another 4% gain. So it's not that high, you know what I mean? I still think that there's optimism in this market, but the best way to go about this whenever there's a good chance on both sides of it happening where we can start seeing some breakdown or a little bit more optimism in the market is to basically at this point not be going all in on your investments, but to start at, we've had a whole good month of gains, start hedging your investments at this time, and you want to be playing both ends so that you have some money in USD liquidated and then you have some money trading the market so that hopefully we can catch another 5% return off of what BTC is doing. That's how personally I'm playing the Bitcoin market, but as far as gold, right, I find this also interesting. I think that, if the Bitcoin market, like right now, I'm not really holding all that much crypto because I have seen a lot of days of hype. But another reason why I'm saying that is because both of them are looking strong. We got the Dow Jones, we have BTC looking strong. But then if we go into gold, gold is also looking really strong. So we had a really nice bounce as far as candles are concerned on the 1 day, and this is not normal for gold, and gold's been going down a really steep hill. So in all honesty, if you're looking for another hedge for your investments, I think the gold market might be an interesting one, but that's just an idea. Other than that, I'm going to go into some of these, we'll go into the heat maps and we'll really start to see what's going on in real time and see if we can see anything, okay? All right, so here we are at the heat maps. Let me pull it up over here. Okay, so heat maps, I'm going to stick with the 1 day and we'll work our way in as we usually do. I think we'll start off with Ethereum because I think Ethereum's an interesting one to be watching because of the correlation Ethereum has with the majority of the altcoin market. We have been seeing a bunch of specific altcoins run, but Ethereum has not been benefiting in that love that much. So let's dive into what's going on the close on the day, and I'm actually going to move us into a closer view, okay, so that you guys can actually see what is going on. So as far as the technicals, I still think that Ethereum's breaking down at these levels. I do not think that Ethereum's a strong investment, and we can see that there is still a lot of selling going on, and there's still a lot of volume pushing down the price, and I think that it's going to continue to tumble a little bit farther. I think the interesting investment to be looking at, though, is going to be Bitcoin, because I think that BTC, if anything, that's going to run before the altcoin market or just shoot up, it's going to be Bitcoin again, if we end up getting that FUD and that hype to really push the price up. But as of right here, let me go into the 1 hour. So BTC on the 1 hour, we got a huge pump. I'm surprised at this pump, but we have been seeing a bunch of green candles leading up to it. Like, there really hasn't been negative, and this is what you want to be looking at, right? So whenever you're trying to use a chart like this, whenever you're just seeing green just buy sells as far as the candles are concerned, that's a good indicator that there's strength in the market. When on the opposite side, I'm gonna go like over here, you can see that there's weakness in the market right here, and the difference is that you're seeing these red candles start to form a lot more frequently, and that led to this huge sell-off. So that's one way to look at it as far as this is concerned. Another thing is that whenever I don't have the view of that one, but going into where the latest candles are as far as Bitcoin's concerned, I think we're doing relatively strong. Honestly, I would have some money in Bitcoin at this moment. I would at least have a hedge investment in some Bitcoin. I do think that part of it is weak. It just depends on what the market's doing. But if you're in the stock market and you have investments in the stock market and crypto, I would rather have some investments in cryptocurrency right now than hold it in the stock market. That's just my personal opinion for the time being. But after you get the consolidation in the Dow Jones, it might be a smart time to make the switch. Other than that, we are seeing like a few pockets form as far as BTC is concerned. So tomorrow, I'm hoping maybe we could see a little bit of consolidation if the Dow is able to help take down BTC. I think another interesting one that I want to jump into is going to be Monero. Let me go into Monero. Okay, so if you guys watched my last live stream, I'm gonna throw it up over here.
Monero. Okay, so I've been looking at Monero.
Yeah, so I'm gonna play this for 1 second. This is from my last live stream where I was talking about Monero. This is a day old.
As far as an ontology jump. Monero. Okay, so I've been looking at recently. Monero has been a really interesting coin. It hasn't had the jump as far as an ontology jump that I've been looking for, but I'm starting to see us break back above this Ichimoku cloud, which is very, very good. I took in a position at these levels right here. Literally, I was doing some technical analysis and I saw the opportunity. I was like, all right, I'll make a trade on this. So I did take a position right here.
Okay, I'm hoping that the audio worked for that, because I tried to set this up for the first time. So if that didn't work, basically all I was trying to signify was that Monero was a good opportunity for a gain, and we ended up getting that return. It ended up being a 14% return. I'm gonna jump into Monero real quick and we'll see what I'm talking about, and then we'll take it into the heat maps and we'll see how it's doing over there. Cryptocurrency. Okay. So yeah, right over here, I actually made the call right around here, and then we had the breakout that we were looking for that 14% return. Right here, I am selling some of my positions, but I do think that we do have an opportunity to go farther, especially if the cryptocurrency market will benefit from the October month. And really all the events that are going on. I think that we do have another leg up, and I do think that Monero has been one of those coins that does have an ecosystem, but it does have value, you know what I mean? And I think that we can at least get up to another, at most 24, but at the least 15. But right here is where I initially told you guys to start taking out. So I've taken out, a position out of, my gains out of Monero. I've kept a little bit in, but basically I'm going to hope for some consolidation, and I have my bots scheduled to really look for that. So that's Monero. Let me dump into, we'll go back into the heat maps and we'll see how the heat maps is looking as far as Monero is concerned. And we'll see if we can see anything. If you guys are interested in a particular coin, you guys can comment down below and in the Discord, and I'll look into seeing, if I can cover it. But yeah, so as far as this is concerned, there's not too much, like I said, there's no real strength moving it in either direction right now. That I can just, that's on the 5 minute. Let me jump into the 1 hour and see if I can get better results. Okay, yeah, there's a little bit more information on the 1 hour. Yeah, it does look like the momentum, as far as like where the momentum just keeps on trying to push the price. We do have a solid amount of cushion right here as far as Monero is concerned. So if we can consolidate, you know, just a little bit more, because we are seeing a little bit of red right now. If we can hopefully consolidate a little bit more, you know, maybe buying back in at like 100, if we can get down to like 101 or 100. I think that, you know, I think that we could get there easy. But there are, you know, it's just a fight, and it's going to just take watching these candles a little bit in close to really determine what's going on. I will go into the zoom so that we can kind of, oh, I am on the zoom. I guess it doesn't show it for the 1 hour. I'm going to see if on the 1 day, we'll see if we can get any more information. Because I do like using this for the 1 hour. Yeah, so as far as, you know, like I said, this is why I'm taking out at, you know, this position. I'm taking out some because we could kind of see like it's not as strong on the 1 day anymore. You know what I mean? Where we really had tight, you know, I guess heat map candles pushing the price up. But right now, we're starting to see the gaps form as far as the 1 day is concerned. So if you are holding any Monero off of, you know, the trade that we called, I would probably be looking at selling some of your positions right now. I'm going to jump into the Discord. I'm going to see if any of you guys have any questions. Oh yeah. Let me show off this. Yeah, so I got this sweatshirt thanks to Crypto Hopper. I guess I'm an official Crypto Hopper trader. I appreciate the Crypto Hopper community. You guys have been so good to me. I appreciate the team at Crypto Hopper. But yeah, I enjoy working with you guys. I think if you're just getting into automation trading and you're just starting off and you're looking, you know, for something to kind of get your feet wet, I think without a doubt, Crypto Hopper is a really good pick. And if any other companies want to send me some t-shirts, I love t-shirts. So, but other than that, you know, I think that it's a good one to get your feet wet as far as, you know, starting to trade the market. It has some basic signals as far as, you know, stock RSI, MACD, but that in the beginning, that's all you need to be using. And basically, what I love to do, and another thing is, I'm gonna jump into this because I think you guys are going to like this website too. I'll include this in the Discord, but let's jump into, you know, here, right? This is Coin Calendar, right? And basically you could see events that are going on within the market if you go here. I'll include the link in the Discord, but basically you could see what events are going on. And what I would recommend is using news-based events, looking ahead of time, like a month in advance, like try and see what's coming out, like if anything big, and then try and align your investments according to the technical analysis. And then you can use Crypto Hopper or HassBot or any other program that you end up liking or that appeals to you, and then you could set up a strategy to hopefully jump in between the fluctuations of the market. As far as news, let's actually go into a few altcoins that have a few news coming up. I think, of course, Stratum has a really big day tomorrow that I'm interested in. Maybe we could also look into Lisk, because I know Lisk is a big one, but really want to be looking for as far as if you come to this website is you want to be looking for the big ones. Don't look for like the stupid stuff like let's see, protein website design. Do not make an investment based on news on a website design. I think that's kind of silly. You know, look for the core 1.0 mainnet. You know, look at product 3 announcement. Like, look for the big news things that could really drive the hype, and see if the team that you're investing in is actually able to stay up to date with their community. What you're looking for is companies that are able to basically produce YouTube videos, show the progress that they're making, and act professional. So I'm interested to see in how professional Substratum's product 3 announcement is tomorrow, and I'm going to be very curious to see what happens with the price. And I think actually now, if you're looking to buy in based on news, now might be an interesting time to make a position if you want to make a small position. So let's jump into Substratum, and we can see what is going on. So as far as Substratum is concerned, we gotta let it load a little bit. Okay, just took a second. I think I got too many tabs that trying to live stream and everything. My computer can't handle it. But yeah, no, so Substratum's had seen amazing growth. This has been one of my lead trades. We called it at the bottom. We've been riding this all the way up to the top. We've been taking positions out along the way. But now, you know, we're finally at a point where we're starting to see some consolidation. We took out this one huge candle, which is nice. And then what we're waiting on is news. So depending on the news, depending on how much hype and how much is there and isn't there, it's really going to determine what is going to happen. There's a lot of people that have been buying into this price in prep of the news. Keep that in mind. And we can get an opposite effect that we would be looking for. I remember whenever everybody was hyping up, you know, Ethereum Classic, up to it, it started to gain, you know, momentum as far as Ethereum Classic connecting with Coinbase. That was really big news. But the thing is that too many people knew about it beforehand. They ended up buying the coin, and they think as soon as the news would have dropped, you know, they would have skyrocketed, but the opposite effect ended up happening. And Ethereum Classic ended up not being the best thing to be holding because too many people knew about it beforehand. Then we might see the same thing happen with Substratum. I think everybody pretty much has a pretty good idea about the news coming out with Substratum. Depending on how important the news is, depending on if they have really been able to do what they've been trying to do, it's really going to signify what comes next. So I think we are, if I bring out Ichimoku clouds, we could see where we are on the 1 day, because I think we're in them still, yeah. So this is what you would be looking for, a huge breakout within the Ichimoku clouds, and then consolidation down back to where the green is. And then this is where you would want to strategically make a buy if you think that this might be a good level for a bounce based on the news. So if you're a news-oriented person, if you think that there's going to be a lot more hype, there is an opportunity to make that jump, to break through the clouds, and we have done it before. I'm going to try and zoom out. I don't know what's going on with the graph. Okay, I'm going to just bring out a new graph, and I'll go try and bring it back in again. Glitch is going up, whatever. Do, yeah, BTC USD, and I'll go back into Substratum. We can see if we can fix that graph. I think I'm just streaming too much, and there's just too much juggling for my whole computer to handle, but we'll get it to work. All right, we'll go back into Substratum. But what I'm looking for is where can we go from here realistically if the news is worthy. You know, I think that regardless, like I'm picking up another small position at these levels. This has been a coin that I jumped in and out of automation trading, but I'm not going all in at these levels because I've already made such a nice return off of this jump. But what I'm looking for and what I wanted to show you guys is this, right? So we can see that we've had breakouts from the Ichimoku on the 1 day, and whenever that does happen, it's extremely profitable. And what we're seeing is we're right here, you know what I mean? Where we're breaking down, and where could we be? We could be this little, you know, red candle right here. I'll bring a little an arrow to show you what I'm talking about, but all right, let's bring this down. But where we could be is right here, right? So if we're this red candle, and if the news is actually worthy of the hype that it's trying to, you know, build up, we could have a nice return. I don't think it's going to be as big as this, but I do think that we can at least get up to where this level is, and maybe use this as a new floor. That would be the most ideal situation as far as Substratum is concerned. I'm going to jump into this, and we can see how much of an opportunity this is as far as in trade. That's another 40%. So 37, 40%, you know, in the 30 range. That's what we could be looking at as far as the peak of Substratum before we could see some consolidation again. But really, all in all, it's been a wonderful trade to be in Substratum as of you know, these past few days. Let's go into another one. What was the news? Which one was it? Lisk. All right, LSK. Lisk is an interesting project that I've known about for a while. So let's see what Lisk is doing in prep because it has 2 days. I'm just curious. Yeah. So it's looking strong, you know what I mean? And in general, it's also in the clouds. It's never had a cloud breakout. But if you're looking for a coin to be trading based on news and you want to add it to your automation trading program to add positions in, this might be one, because who knows? You know, this looks like it has a little bit more opportunity than, you know, Substratum does, just depending on how important this mainnet launch is and what it does and how much hype it can build. You know, I think, honestly, maybe at 14%, I would probably start taking out at like a 10 or 14%. I would start taking out the majority of my holdings. But if you wanted to, you know, you could try and, you know, catch some of the extremes if you want, like 50% returns or whatever. It just depends on the news. Do research as far as what the project is doing and what the news is. That's what I recommend. You know, it's one thing to just look at, okay, this calendar is doing this, but it's another thing to actually follow the project and to actually stay up to date. The best way to go about that, in my opinion, is join, you know, a group of community that is actually following these projects, like the Crypto Potluck on Discord. And another thing is, let me do a little quick plug. So yeah, join us on Patreon and you get in our private group, and we watch these projects. We try and stay up to date on them, and we try and trade based on news, based on technical analysis. But another thing is just join the subreddit. You know, get involved on Reddit. It's pretty easy to make an account. You can follow the subreddit, add it on your phone, just so that you can stay up to date on what the project's doing. Usually if there's updates, they're posted there. Follow the project on Twitter, you know, but what you're looking for is you're trying to find a handful of safe investments that you really relate to, that you believe in, that have long-term value as far as you're concerned, and they're staying up to date with their community and their progress. And if you can find all that and you can relate it to, you know, a news launch, you're going to be in a good place. So other than that, let's see. I'm going to go one last time onto the Discord and see if there was any questions. Okay, I'm going to go into the YouTube chat because I think that I might have some questions in the YouTube chat, if I can find it. Okay, yeah, I do have a question on the YouTube chat. So, I'm mining ETC. Ooh, trade for BTC. Yeah, okay, so we have a question. It sounds like he's kind of new into automation trading, but basically I'm mining ETC, which I then trade for BTC. I need advice on how to choose the best profit percentage to trigger my sells for maximize profit, but not miss out by selling too high. Okay, so for that question, I would recommend basically finding an automation trading program that works for you. Like I said, I'm repping, you know, Crypto Hopper right now. That would probably be the easiest one to just start up and get into, because I know like HassOnline and some of the other ones, it requires getting a virtual private server if you want to do it the most effectively, and then they're a little bit more in depth. And if you're just starting to get into automation trading, the big thing is just start small. You know what I mean? A lot of people, they get into this and they see the opportunity, it's exciting, and they just want to go full like into it, and they want to trade every pair under the sun. But I get so many messages from people within the community, and they reach out to me and they have bags or whatever the case might be. But the biggest cause of that is, number one, not managing your own portfolio, not staying up to date on the news, not staying up to date on the projects that are actually getting progress done. When you're investing in shitcoins, you're going to get a shitcoin you know, bag that's really going to hurt your portfolio, and you need to not be able to hodl, because whenever there's a lot of news going on, and like I said, I really highly suggest reading you know, my Steam It article, because I think that you might get a lot of value out of it, and just a different perspective to kind of you know, second your guess yourself. But this in general is a good way to help prepare yourself in the market. But like I said, find an automation trading program, move your investments around. You cannot hodl in this market because there are so many extremes, the highs, the lows, and you need to understand the rhythm that you're playing within. It's not easy, you know, at first. It takes a lot of learning, a lot of research. I have a lot of tutorials going into heat maps, Ichimoku trading, and all the different automation trading programs that you can use. But the big thing is just how do you go about it? You know, you want to base your trades off of percentages and not emotions. The second you get into emotions and you don't have a strategy setting you up, you're going to fail. And if you're just throwing, you know, darts blindly, you know, you're going to end up getting screwed. You need to ask yourself if you have the time to really invest in this and to educate yourself properly, and start off with a small investment and work your way up. That's the best suggestion that I can offer, you know, for anybody just getting into, you know, automation trading and looking how to manage their portfolios. Other than that, I don't think that we have any other questions. I'm gonna go. Thank you guys for watching. I hope that this was able to provide some value. And at the end of the day, you guys are your own investors. If you guys are looking to learn more, please join the Discord down below. And we have a bunch of links that you guys can look at for helping you get started in whatever direction. Other than that, at the end of the day, you are your own investor. I hope you guys have a wonderful day trading the market.